press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi everyone. In the last video, we discussed mechanism of breathing. So in this video, I am going to discuss respiratory volumes and capacities. Respiratory volumes and capacities. So what we learned in the last video? Mechanism of breathing, right? So the breathing includes inspiration and as well as expiration. Breathing includes inspiration and expiration. So during inspiration we inhale air, during expiration we exhale air. Okay. So breathing includes inspiration and expiration, right? See, one breath is one inspiration and one expiration. One inspiration and one expiration. So one inspiration plus one expiration is one breath. The total number of the number of breaths per minute is the respiratory rate. So respiratory rate is the number of breaths taken per minute is the respiratory rate. So the normal respiratory rate in an adult human is 12 to 16 times per minute. So what is the normal respiratory rate? In a healthy adult human, it is 12 to 16 times per minute. That means on an average, an healthy human breath, on an average, an healthy human breathes 12 to 16 times per minute. Okay. So this is the normal respiratory rate in healthy adult human. So what is the normal respiratory rate? 12 to 16 times per minute or 12 to 16 breaths per minute. Okay. So this is the normal respiratory rate. And the volume of air involved in breathing movements can be measured. See, for example, in breathing we inspire. So breathing it involves both inspiration and expiration, right? So during inspiration we inhale air, so some volume of air we inhale, and during expiration we exhale some volume of air. Okay. So what volume of air that get exchanged during the breathing movements can be measured with the help of an instrument that is called as spirometer. So this is an instrument used to measure the volume of air involved in breathing movement. Okay. So it is also called as respirometer. Okay. So it is also called as respirometer. So it is an instrument used to measure the volume of air that is involved during breathing movements. Okay. So that is spirometer, and the record is called as a spirogram. So this is the spirogram of different respiratory volumes and capacities. It is a graphical representation of different respiratory volumes and different respiratory capacities. Okay. So what is the normal respiratory rate? The normal respiratory rate in a healthy adult human is 12 to 16 times per minute. This is the normal respiratory rate, and the volume of air which is involved during breathing movements can be measured with the help of which instrument? Spirometer or the respirometer. Okay. So let us discuss the different respiratory volumes and capacities. So first I take up respiratory volumes. So what is our respiratory volume? Respiratory volumes. So respiratory volumes. So how can we define our respiratory volume? See, respiratory volume is nothing but it is a quantity of air which our lungs can receive, hold and expel under different conditions. So that is what the respiratory volume. So respiratory volume is the quantity of air which our lungs can receive, hold and expel under different conditions is called as respiratory volume. Okay. So let us discuss different respiratory volumes. So the first is tidal volume. First is tidal volume. So what is a tidal volume? It is the volume of air inspired or expired, the volume of air inspired or expired during normal breathing. So it is approximately, so in short, tidal volume is called as TV. In short, it is called as TV. So its value approximately 500 ml. Okay. So during normal breathing, when we are at rest, when we are breathing normally, how much volume of air that enter into the lungs and how much volume of air is expelled out during normal breathing. So that is the tidal volume. Okay. So tidal volume is the volume of air inspired or expired when during normal breathing. So it is the volume of air that inhaled or exhaled during normal breathing is the tidal volume. So normal breathing, how much volume of air we inspire and expire? We inhale during normal inspiration, we inhale 500 ml of air. So during inhalation, how much volume of air that goes inside? 500 ml of air that goes inside. And how much ml of air that come out? 500. It is again 500 ml of air that come out. Okay. So this is the tidal volume. Okay. So we will come to know what is tidal volume. It is the volume of air inspired or expired during normal breathing. So this is called as the tidal volume. Okay. Say during a normal breathing, so during normal inspiration, how much volume of air that will enter in? 500 ml of air that will goes in. Right. Okay. So all of this air will not reach up to the alveoli. Okay. Only the 70% of which reaches up to the alveoli. Remaining 30% of air will remain in the conducting airways. That is only 70% of which will reaches up to the alveoli. So remaining 30% of which it will not reach up to the alveoli, it will remain in the conducting airways. So conducting airways include, I already explained the conducting zone, that is trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, okay, terminal bronchiole. So 30% of air will remain in the conducting airways. So only this amount of air that reaches the alveoli involved in the gaseous exchange. So this is the volume of air that is available for gaseous exchange. What that 30% of air remains in conducting airways? No, it is not available for gaseous exchange because it will not reach up to the alveoli. So alveoli is the area where the gaseous exchange can take place. No, so this amount of this volume of air will not reach up to the alveoli. So this volume of air is not involved. Okay, so this is not involved in the respiratory exchange. Okay, so of the 500 ml, how much ml of air reaches the alveoli? 70% of it reaches the alveoli, right? So of the 500 ml, 70% means 350 ml of air will reach us up to the lungs. So this is called as alveolar volume. This is what? The alveolar volume, and this is the, so this is what? The alveolar volume, and this is the volume of air that is available for gaseous exchange, that is for respiratory exchange. Okay. Now remaining 30% that will remain in the conducting airways, no? So that is not involved in the respiratory exchange. So that conducting airways with the air which is not involved in the respiratory exchange, so that space is called as anatomic dead space. It is called as anatomic dead space. So how much volume of air remain inside the remain in the conducting airways which will not reach up to the alveoli? So that is 150 ml. Okay, so how much volume of air that is present in the anatomic dead space now? It is 150 ml. Okay, so this is called as dead space volume. It is called. So what is the dead space volume? So the dead space volume is 150 ml. So you have to remember these points for NEET. Okay, so what is anatomic dead space? So anatomic dead space is the conducting airways with the air which is not involved in the respiratory exchange is called as anatomic dead space. Okay, so the volume of air which is present in this dead space, no, so this is called as dead space volume. Okay, the volume of air which remains in the dead space is dead space volume. So what is the dead space volume? It is 150 ml. Okay, so we will come to know what is tidal volume and its value 500 ml. So when we are breathing normally, we intake 500 ml of air and release out 500 ml of air, of which of the 500 ml of air we inhaled, only 350 ml will reach us up to the alveoli, and that is available for gaseous exchange. So that volume of air is called as alveolar volume, and the remaining volume of air, remaining 30% which will not reach us up to the alveoli, will remain in the anatomic dead space. So anatomic dead space is the conducting airways with air which is not involved in respiratory exchange. So that is anatomic dead space. So we can call bronchi, bronchioles, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles. So all these are conducting airways, no? So what air which is present in these airways which is not available for respiratory exchange, so this is called as the area that is called as anatomic dead space. Okay, and the volume of air which is present in this space, no, so that is called as dead space volume. So it is 150 ml. Okay, so everything is important here. What is tidal volume? The definition of tidal volume, it's important. Its value, it is 500 ml. And what is the alveolar volume? For NEET, this is important. So what is the alveolar volume? 350 ml. Okay, and what is the dead space volume? What is anatomic dead space? And what is the dead space volume? It is 150 ml. So you have to remember all these points. Okay, now, so during normal breathing, a healthy human can inspire or expire approximately 6,000 to 8,000 ml of air per minute. So in a single breath, the volume of air inspired or expired is 500 ml. And it is per minute. Per minute the number of breaths are 12 to 16 times, no? So tidal volume into number of breaths, that will give this value. Okay. So in a healthy human, so a healthy person can inspire or expire during a normal breathing is 6,000 to 8,000 ml per minute. Okay, so this is what the tidal volume, you have to remember this. Then next is, understood clearly, that next is so this is the graphical representation of different respiratory volumes and capacities. See in this, the upward depict, no? So this is inspiration, and the downward depiction it is called as expiration. Okay. See here, this is what the normal breathing. Okay. So this is normal inspiration, normal expiration. Normal inspiration, normal expiration. So during normal breathing, how much volume of air we inspire and expire? It is 500 ml, and this volume is, this is the tidal volume. So this is the tidal volume. Understood? Then next is inspiratory reserve volume. Inspiratory reserve volume. In short, it is called IRV. Okay, how we can define IRV, that is inspiratory reserve volume? So it is the additional volume of, it is the additional volume of air a person, it is the additional volume of air a person can inspire by a forcible inspiration. By a forcible inspiration. So what is the definition of inspiratory reserve volume here? Additional volume of air a person can inspire by a forcible inspiration. So this is called as inspiratory reserve volume, and its value is, so inspiratory reserve volume is 2500 to 3000 ml. So this is the inspiratory reserve volume. So what is inspiratory reserve volume? See, if we inspire normally, see this is what the normal breathing. Okay, so this is inspiration and this is expiration. Again this is inspiration and this is expiration. Okay, and again this is inspiration. Okay, so if we inspire normally, when we inhale the air normally, so how much volume of air that will go inside? This is 500 ml of air that goes in. Okay, and if we take a deep breath now, so after this, after normal inhalation, if you take a deep breath, so that becomes what? The forcible expiration, right? Okay, now, so if you take a deep breath, okay, so if we expire forcefully or if we inspire forcefully, we able to take some additional volume of air. Okay, see, after the normal inhalation, so during normal inhalation, how much volume of air that we able to take? So during normal inhalation, we can take 500 ml of air. So 500 ml of air that goes in. Suppose if you take after the normal inhalation, if you take a deep breath, if we inspire forcefully, we able to take some more additional volume of air. That is, we are able to take 2500 to 3000 ml of air apart from this 500 ml. Okay, so this is called as what? The IRV, that is inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so what is inspiratory reserve volume? It is the additional volume of air a person can inspire. So it is the additional volume, this is the additional volume of air a person can inspire by forcible inspiration. See, this is normal inspiration and this is forcible inspiration. Okay, so that is what IRV. So it is the additional volume of air a person can inspire by forcible inspiration after normal inspiration. Okay, so that is what the inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so I explain once again. If we inhale normally, we can take 500 ml of air inside. We take 500 ml of air inside. After normal breathing, if we breathe after normal inspiration, if we inspire forcefully, if we inspire forcefully, further we are able to take again some additional volume of air, that is 2500 to 3000 ml of air. So this additional volume of air which we able to take by forcible inspiration is called as inspiratory reserve volume. So it is, so apart from 500 ml, so how much volume of air we are able to take in by forcible inspiration? That is 2500 to 3000 ml. If we inspire forcefully, what volume of air we are able to inhale? That is 2500 to 3000 ml. So this is what the inspiratory reserve volume. Understood clearly? Then next is expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume. See, what is expiratory reserve volume? Its short form is ERV, expiratory reserve volume. So how we can define expiratory reserve volume? It is the additional volume of air, a person can expire. Additional volume of air a person can expire. Okay, by forcible expiration, by a forcible expiration. So this is called as what? Expiratory reserve volume, and its ERV. It is represented by ERV and its value is 1000 to 1100 ml. So if we expire forcefully, how much volume of air we are able to expel further apart from 500 ml? 1000 to 1100 ml. Okay, so this is what the expiratory reserve volume. So expiratory reserve volume is the additional volume of air a person can expire by forcible expiration. See here. So this is again a normal inspiration, and this downward curve, this is normal expiration. Okay, so during normal expiration, during normal exhalation, how much volume of air we expel out? So we expel 500 ml of air. See, during normal exhalation, how much volume of air we expel out? 500 ml, that is the tidal volume. Suppose if we expire forcefully, so this is the forcible expiration. So this is, up to this is normal expiration. So during normal expiration we take we expel 500 ml of air, and if we expire forcefully, further we able to expel some extra volume of air, that is 1000 to 1100 ml of air we can expel out by forcible expiration. So this is called as what? Expiratory reserve volume. Okay. So after normal expiration, if we increase the strength of expiration, further we able to expel some extra volume of air. So this additional volume of air which we able to expel out by forcible expiration is called as what? Expiratory reserve volume. So what is the definition here? Additional volume. It is the additional volume, because after normal expiration, no. So during normal expiration we expel 500 ml. So this is additional volume of air, so which we expel out during forcible expiration. So that's why here it is called as additional. Okay, additional volume of air a person can expire by forcible expiration. Okay, so that is how much volume of air we able to expel out by forcible expiration? It is 1000 to 1100 ml. So this is what the expiratory reserve volume. Okay, understood clearly? Now next is residual volume. Next is residual volume. See, what is residual volume? Even after forcible expiration also, some volume of air will always remain in the lungs, which we cannot expel out. So that volume of air which always remain in the lungs is called as residual volume. Okay. So how we can define residual volume? Then it is the volume of air that always remain in the lungs even after forcible expiration. So this is called as what? Residual volume. Okay. So after forcible expiration, entire air will not come out. Some volume of air will always remain inside. Okay. So if entire air come out means the lungs can collapse, no. So this should not happen. So to avoid that, some volume of air will always remain in the lungs. Okay. So that volume of air which we cannot expel, so that is called as what? The residual volume. Okay. So its value is, so what is the short form of residual volume? RV. Okay, abbreviation RV. It is 1100 to 1200 ml. Okay, so this volume of air which will always remain in our lungs. Okay. So residual volume, how we can define residual volume? Volume of air that always remain in the lungs even after forcible expiration is called as what? Residual volume. Understood? Understood clearly? So these are all the respiratory volumes. So that is what we have discussed till now. Let me write once again. Tidal volume. Tidal volume. Then the inspiratory reserve volume. So it is the additional volume of air that a person can inspire by forcible inspiration. Then ERV. ERV is expiratory reserve volume. So it is the additional volume of air which we expire by forcible expiration, and the volume of air that always remain in the lungs is called as residual volume. So these are the respiratory volumes. Now I will discuss respiratory capacities. So let us discuss respiratory capacities. See, what is respiratory capacity? See, respiratory capacity is the sum of two or more respiratory volumes. So sum of two or more respiratory volumes gives the respiratory capacities. Okay. See, for example, if we add, that is the TV plus IRV. So first I will discuss, first I will write the respiratory capacities so that you can understand. Inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity. Then expiratory capacity. Then functional residual capacity and vital capacity and total lung capacity. Total lung capacity. Okay. See, as I said, respiratory capacities are the sum of two or more respiratory volumes. No. So the sum of TV plus IRV. The sum of TV and IRV is the inspiratory capacity. So inspiratory capacity is the total of it, or it is the sum of TV plus IRV. So this is inspiratory capacity. Okay. Now functional residue and expiratory capacity. So expiratory capacity is TV plus ERV. Expiratory capacity is TV plus ERV is the expiratory capacity. Now if we add ERV plus RV, that gives functional residual capacity. So this is functional residual capacity. So functional residual capacity is sum of ERV and RV. Okay. Now vital capacity. So vital capacity is a sum of TV, ERV plus IRV. Sum of TV, IRV plus ERV, that gives a vital capacity. Okay. And total lung capacity. So total lung capacity is the sum total of all the respiratory volumes, that is TV plus IRV plus ERV plus RV. So that gives the total lung capacity. Okay. So this gives a total lung capacity. Understood? Okay. So you remember this so that you are able to recall easily. Okay, so let us discuss the respiratory capacities one by one. So you already came to know that inspiratory capacity is the sum of TV plus IRV, and expiratory capacity is TV plus ERV. Functional residual capacity is ERV plus RV, and the vital capacity is TV, IRV plus ERV, and total lung capacity is TV, IRV, ERV plus RV. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. So the first is inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity. Okay. So what is inspiratory capacity? In short, it is called as IC. It is called IC. Okay. So what is inspiratory capacity? So inspiratory capacity is a total volume of air, total volume of air. A person can, total volume of air, a person can inspire after normal expiration. So as I said, inspiratory capacity IC is the sum of TV plus IRV. So TV plus IRV. So this is TV and this is IRV. The sum of these two gives the inspiratory capacity. Okay. See how we define inspiratory capacity is total volume of air a person can, total volume of air. Okay. A person, whether we are breathing normally and forcefully, the what total volume of air that we are able to inspire, so that is the inspiratory capacity. Okay. So total volume of air a person can inspire after normal expiration. See, after normal expiration, see here, after normal expiration, okay, how much volume of air we are able to inhale now. So after normal expiration, how much total volume of air that we are able to inspire? So this much volume of air we are able to inspire. Okay, suppose here, if we inhale normally, we are able to inhale 500 ml of air, and if we inspire forcefully, if we inhale forcefully, some additional volume, that is 2500 to 3000 ml of air that we are able to inhale. Okay. So this is what our total inspiratory capacity. Okay. So inspiratory capacity, see here, inspiratory capacity is a TV plus IRV. This is TV plus IRV, that gives the inspiratory capacity. Okay. So then what is expiratory capacity? Expiratory capacity. See, it is a total volume of air. A person, total volume of air a person can expire after normal inspiration. So this is what the expiratory capacity. So after inhaling normally, how much volume of air that we able to expel out, so that is the expiratory capacity. So it is the sum total of them, it is the sum total of. So what is the short form? Expiratory capacity, EC. Okay. So EC is again TV. If we expire force after normal inspiration, if we exhale normally, how much volume of air that we expel out? That is 500 ml, that is tidal volume. Further, if we expire forcefully, we are able to expel some extra volume of air, that is 1000 to 1100 ml of air we are able to expel after the apart from 500 ml. So that is what the ERV. Okay, so this two values together gives the inspiratory capacities. Okay, inspiratory capacity. Okay, so what is inspiratory capacity here? It is the sum of TV plus ERV. So that is what the expiratory capacity. So what is expiratory capacity? TV plus ERV. See here, after normal inspiration. Okay, see after normal inspiration, we exhale now. So after normal inspiration, if we exhale normally, so we expel 500 ml of air outside. Okay, and further if we expire forcefully, further 1000 to 1100 ml of air we able to expel out. Okay, so we can say expiratory capacity is TV plus ERV. Okay, so TV plus ERV gives the expiratory capacity. Understood what is inspiratory capacity and what is expiratory capacity? Okay, now functional residual capacity. Functional residual capacity. So in short it is FRC, functional residual capacity. What is functional residual capacity? See, it can be defined as the volume of air that remain in the volume of air that remain in the lungs, after normal expiration. This is called as functional residual capacity, FRC. What is FRC? The volume of air remain in the lungs, the volume of air, okay, that or else the total volume we can say. So the volume of air remain in the lungs after normal expiration. See, if we expire normally, how much volume of air we expel? 500 ml, that is the tidal volume. And if we expire forcefully, further we able to expel how much volume of air? That is 1000 to 1100 ml. Okay, so this is what the ERV. So it is the additional volume of air which we can expire by forcible expiration. Okay, now even after forcible expiration also, some volume of air that always remain in the lungs. So what volume of air that always remain in the lungs here? So 1100 to 1200 ml of air that will always remain in the lungs, which you cannot expel out. So that is what the RV. Okay, see here, what is functional residual capacity? So the volume of air which remain in the lungs after normal expiration. So what we have to minus here? We have to minus this 500 ml of air. Okay, so during normal expiration we expel 500 ml of air, no? So that go out. So what remain inside the lungs now? ERV and RV. Okay, so after normal expiration, so what is the volume of air that remains, the total volume of air that remain in the lungs? It is ERV and RV. Okay, so what is functional residual capacity then? It is functional residual capacity is the sum of RV plus ERV. So sum of RV plus ERV gives the functional residual capacity. So this is the volume of air. So this is the volume of air that will remain in the lungs after normal expiration. So after normal expiration, what is the volume of air remain in the lungs now? Expiratory reserve volume, which we have not expelled out, okay, and the residual volume that always remain inside the lung, okay. So this is what the that is functional residual capacity, okay, understood clearly? Then next is vital capacity. Vital capacity. See how we can define vital capacity. It is the maximum volume of air that a person can breathe in after forcible expiration, okay. So how can we define vital capacity? We see maximum volume of air a person can breathe. Maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after forcible expiration, So that is, or maximum volume of air a person can breathe out after forcible inspiration. So that is the vital capacity, okay. So what is vital capacity? It is the maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after forcible expiration, or maximum volume of air a person can breathe out after forcible inspiration. So that is what the vital capacity. So vital capacity can be calculated by, so it includes, the vital capacity includes all the three, that is ERV, TV and IRV. ERV plus TV plus IRV gives the vital capacity, okay. The sum of all the three values is the vital capacity. See here, this one, this is from here to here, all the three, it includes ERV now, it includes TV now, it includes IRV now, so all the three is the vital capacity. So vital capacity includes all the three, okay. See, what is the definition? Maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after forcible expiration, okay. So after forcible expiration, see this is forcible expiration. See, after forcible expiration, how much volume of air we able to take in? So that is the vital capacity. So after forcible expiration, how much, that is how much maximum volume of air that we are able to take in? So this much volume of air we are able to take in. So this includes ERV, TV and IRV. So after forcible inspiration, we able to take this volume of air? No. So that we expelled out forcefully, and after this during normal inspiration, by normal inspiration we are able to take 500 ml of air. No, further by forcible inspiration we further able to take 2500 to 3000 ml of air. No. So the vital capacity includes ERV, TV and IRV. Okay. So after forcible inspiration we are able to take that volume of air that we expired forcefully. So this one, that is the ERV. And by normal inspiration further we are able to take 500 ml of air. Okay. So further if we inspire forcefully, further we are able to take 2500 to 3000 ml of air inside. So after forcible expiration we are able to intake all the three. Okay, ERV, or we can take this much volume of air, that is it includes ERV, TV and IRV. Okay, so that is what the vital capacity. Understood clearly? So vital capacity includes ERV plus TV plus IRV. Understood clearly? Okay, then the last one is total lung capacity. Total lung capacity, in short TLC. Total lung capacity. So what is total lung capacity? It is total lung capacity is the volume of, total lung capacity is the volume of air, the total volume of air, total volume of air, total volume of air that remains or accommodating total volume of air that accommodating in lungs and in the respiratory passage. Okay, so that is the total lung after forcible inspiration. After forcible inspiration. See, what is total lung capacity? It is the total volume of air accommodating in the lungs. Okay, the total volume of air accommodating in the lungs and as well as in the respiratory passage after forcible inspiration. Okay, so after forcible inspiration, how much volume of air that accommodate in the respiratory passage and as well as in the lungs. So that is the total capacity of our lung. Okay, so our lung in the respiratory passage, okay, and our lung can hold how much volume of air. So TLC include TV plus IRV plus ERV plus RV. Okay, so TLC or total lung capacity is the sum total of all the respiratory volumes. Our lungs can hold this much volume of air after forcible inspiration. Okay, so that is the total lung capacity. Or else we can also write TLC is equal to VC plus RV, because VC is vital capacity. No, vital capacity includes TV, ERV plus IRV. So in short we can write VC plus RV, or else it is the sum of all the four: TV, IRV, ERV and RV. So that is what the total lung capacity. Understood? So this is what the respiratory volumes and the respiratory capacities. Okay, understood clearly? So here in this graph, see, this is normal inspiration and normal expiration. Normal inspiration, normal expiration. Normal inspiration and forced inspiration. Okay, now again, so this is forced inspiration is IRV. So this is normal breathing, normal inspiration and expiration is TV, and here this is again the normal. Okay, again this is a normal inspiration and this is normal expiration and this is forced expiration. Okay, and this is again, so this is forced expiration and this is again forced inspiration. Okay, so IC is inspiratory capacity is TV plus IRV. So this is TV plus IRV, and expiratory capacity is here TV plus ERV. Vital capacity is IRV, TV plus ERV, and the total lung capacity is IRV, TV, ERV and RV. Understood clearly? Okay. So this is what the respiratory capacities and volumes. Okay. All of you understood clearly? Thank you.